Hello, more Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Well, so we played our first section as Phoenix Wright. Today we're playing through our second section and hopefully finishing up the English Turnabout. Phew, glad that first part's over. That witness was quite a character. I bet he'd love to be in, words are hard. I bet he'd love to be one in a crime drama. He ended up making it a comedy, though. I hated it before his fellow was found guilty because of his shaky testimony. But at least now it looks like we might be able to get this fella a not guilty verdict. Yeah, I hope that cheered his fella up a bit. Meanwhile, over here we have Mrs. Darklaw, who's like, you should have found her guilty. Ah, I forgot about Darklaw. She's reading my newspaper. Maybe it's just me, but she doesn't look pleased. Is she secretly a witch? Oh, it's you. I appreciate your efforts, Mr. Wright. Thank you. But while I understand your drive to win this case... My drive? This is not the time for your personal ambitions. I told you before, didn't I? That Espella is pleading guilty and that you should accept the proposed punishment. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. This incident has already been settled between our school and the police. But Miss Darklaw, Espella could be innocent! Believe me, it will be in Espella's best interest if you end the trial as soon as possible. The more this trial drags on, the more traumatic it is for this poor girl. I'm sorry. She may be saying that she's guilty, but is she really? In any case, Mr. Wright, we don't want our school being shoved into the limelight because of this case. So if you could please refrain from picking at meaningless details such as that toy. Get this trial over with quickly. This is your client's wish, Mr. Wright. I understand. I'll do my best. It's a relief to hear that. Let's go, Espella. Yes, Miss Darklaw, she said, in a hypnotic trance. What the heck was that all about? We've been busting our butts in there and trying to prove this fella isn't, and she just expects us to give up now? Why are you yelling at me, Maya? But when you think about it, Darklaw's acting very strange. Oh, you don't say, pal. Her own pupil's on trial, and she just stands around reading other people's newspapers. Yeah, what's she so busy reading about anyway? There's nothing about Espella in that paper. Was she checking the soccer scores or something? Uh-oh. Don't say that. Don't say that in England. Oh dear. Don't say that word. The break is almost over. We better. I was having a conversation in the comments with somebody, and I was talking about how Apologist is a terrible game, and I, like you do, and I used I compared Phoenix Wright to a soccer player who, I think in layman's terms it was like he dove. He was a man named Steve plays soccer for a living, and he was the goalkeeper, and he dove to block the ball at the same time as someone next to him intentionally flopped. But to the audience and the other players, it looked like he tackled him to the ground. So the referee was like, instant red card, you've been thrown out of the game for the rest of your life. And the goalkeeper's like, wait, but I clearly didn't tackle that person. But he just gives up, he doesn't care anyway. So I used that analogy, but the one part that he focused on was that I should have called it football and not soccer. I'm like, focus on the rest of what I just said, please. But whatever, it's fine. Flinch looked really confident about this new witness. I'm Espella's defense attorney. I'll stand by her no matter what. Okay. Round 2. New and improved edition. The court will now reconvene. Prosecution, is your witness ready?
Of course, Your Honor. Bailiff, please bring her in.
Alright, who we got? Who's our next witness? Hello? Witness, state your name and occupation.
My name is Olivia al dente. The warm winds of the Mediterranean Sea carry the spicy scent of a seafood stew.
I'm not gonna mimic that accent, by the way. There's no way I'm gonna be able to mimic that accent.
A hot Sicilian stew that soothes the hearts of sailors braving the raging waters. Blessed be the Sicilian cuisine and il nostro mare.
Yes, Miss Al Dente is employed as a cook on the freighter where the crime happened.
She's also probably the culprit because it's the second witness and it's the second part of the case. So if P then Q, we'll run out of options here. It's the second part of the tutorial case for the game. So logic dictates. A cook? That's some interesting attire you're wearing, Miss Al Dente.
This is my work outfit. It's very hot in the kitchen, you know.
It will be a pleasant change after that chocoholic guard you got on my nose. Nice to see the judges remaining impartial.
Miss Al Dente discovered the defendant in the cargo hold where she went for supplies.
She found Espella? That would make her the crew member that Johnny saw fighting with Espella.
That is right, Mr. Wright. Miss Al Dente was the first person to discover the intruder.
Then she is the victim of assault, hit with a steel pipe. How cruel. If I'd only had my precious kitchen knife with me at the time, I'd have shown her my exceptional cutting skills. That's what we call a threat. Nick, look at that, she's an expert potato peeler. You better watch out around her. I'll keep that in mind. Witness, we will now hear your testimony. Describe to us what happened in the cargo hold. Certamente, gladly. Okay. Witness testimony. I started. I'm used to the timing of the main Ace Attorney games where the witness testimony text appears on screen a lot faster than that. So that just goes to show how many of these games I've played. Like it's instinctive. Like it's hardwired into my brain at this point to say the word witness testimony before it even comes up on screen because I'm used to the timing of when it happens. That's saying something. Anyway, I went to the cargo hold to check the supplies. It was past 10 p.m. and I found that girl hiding and clutching one of them bizarro toys. She made as if to run away, so I tried to stop her. Then she grabbed a pipe. She's short, but she fiercely swung the pipe at me. I tried to dodge. Okay. But she hit me on the head. I blacked out for a few minutes. I'm gonna need some more details about that. According to the medical report, you suffered a laceration to your head, correct? Ah, that. It's covered by the chef hat, so you can't see it now. But when I chop up veggies, it hurts in the rhythm of the strikes. Chop, chop, chop. So, wait, were you not wearing your hat on duty? Wait, hold on, wait. If you were on duty that day, shouldn't you have been wearing your hat then? And therefore made it much harder to attack you on the... okay. I should have been more careful, but she looked like a little Piccola girl. Olivia's much taller than Espella. Yeah, Espella's about the same size as you. I may be short, but I'm well proportioned, and that's what matters.
Your Honor, the prosecution would like to present the decisive evidence that proves the defendant's guilt. This is a photograph of the defendant's fingerprint on the steel pipe.
As you can see,
the fingerprints are very clear. They were left by the assailant.
Are you sure about that?
They have already been examined and found to be those of the defendant.
Well, that settles it. This no, it's not. That's not. No. Wait. The fingerprints on the weapon are Espella's. That's irrelevant because. Oh, you know what? Self-defense. That's what we're gonna argue. It was self-defense. Okay, so I'm gonna need to look at that photo again, but I'm pretty sure those don't line up with. Okay, hold on. Is it in the court record yet, or has it been? Okay, it's about to be added right now. Okay. I'm gonna need to. Yeah. Shut up. I need to look at that photo again. Okay, so here's my theory. These fingerprints, they do not line up. If the game was trying to tell me that these fingerprints prove that she's guilty, she would have had to swing the pipe backhanded, which is pretty funny because Espella is way shorter than Olivia is. Olivia is wearing a chef's hat, and I'm sorry, but that just doesn't make any sense at all. Like, there's no way that short Espella could have possibly backhanded a hit on the back of her head with a hat on top of. No, there's no way that happened. That did not happen. Absolutely, positively no way that happened.
Further examination is but a waste of time.
Nick, what do we do now? The evidence clearly points. No, it points to the opposite. What do you mean? Which, by the way, that's why I'm arguing that I'm gonna argue it was in self-defense because that would perfectly explain. That would explain the evidence perfectly. We're pleading that Espella's not guilty, and if she's innocent, then this witness is lying. All we need to do is expose that lie. I've gotta think straight and focus on finding the truth. The defense may cross-examine the witness. With pleasure. Cross-examination. Okay, so the thing is, she's short, but she fiercely swung the pipe at me. I tried to dodge. Yeah, I don't know about that one there, pal. We have some evidence that proves otherwise. You're claiming that the defendant swung that pipe at you? Well, that's impossible. Why do you say that, sweetie? The defendant's fingerprints were found on the pipe, however. There is a contradiction here! I I love this music.
A contradiction? Impossible.
That is most interesting. Well, then the defense shall explain. Happily. What in the photo, the position of the fingerprints? It's the position of the fingerprints, Your Honor. Oh, the position? According to the witness's testimony, the defendant held the pipe like this. In order to hit the witness on the head, she raised the pipe like so. That is precisely what she did. And then she struck from above, but here's the problem. Think about the fingerprints that she would have left had she done just that. What are you getting at, Mr. Wright? Look closely at the way I'm holding the pipe. In this situation, the fingerprints would look like this. The thumb is above the other fingers. Indeed, there's no doubt about it. Now, take a look at the fingerprints that were actually left on the pipe. Goodness, the thumb, it's below the other fingers?
What?
That's right. Miss Al Dente? What is it? Had the defendant attacked you as you described, the fingerprints would have been the other way around, which means... something's not right with your testimony! Ahaha! Here's the telling the truth theme. A bit slower pace, but still. Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? These fingerprints were submitted as a size of evidence. How come the contradiction was not brought to light before? Because the prosecution's an idiot, that's why. Miss Al Dente, what do you have to say about this? Oh? Alright, skill juggling. Excuse me, Miss Al Dente? No, how to bring the full sweetness of a sweet potato? Huh? You use a pinch of salt. Interesting, right? You use salt to make something taste sweeter. I'm not following. I remember it now. It was the other way around, not as you'd expected. Oh, how wonderfully convenient. See, the only problem there is that now the contradiction is with that little bump you got on your head there. I'm sorry, I got a bit confused. You normally hold a pipe like that, but she's so small and the pipe is heavy. She held it the other way. And now you've dug yourself in. The other way? Not like this. She held it this way. Objection! No, don't even try. Don't even try. But then you testified that she fiercely swung the pipe at you. I'm telling you, I got confused. You don't get confused. Okay. How could you mistake the way she held the pipe? She was right in front of you. Oh, why don't you go fry an egg? What does it matter if she held it one way? It makes the bump on your head impossible. Is what difference it makes. You wouldn't call a slightly salted sweet potato a salty potato because it's still a sweet potato no matter what you add to it.
The witness probably has a point, doesn't she?
No, she does not. So the defendant attacked the witness holding the pipe backhanded. It seems a bit unnatural, but it does make sense, I suppose. No!
Indeed, Your Honor, there was no problem.
People, what are you doing? Does the defense agree? If I agree there are no problems with this evidence, we'll all be one step away from losing this case. There's got to be a contradiction somewhere in that fishy testimony. Could a spell have it? No, prove there's a contradiction. Obviously. Objection! Well, Miss Al Dente, I'm afraid that you're in a pickle now. I don't really see why. Adding a pack of lies with testimony can turn things very sour for a witness. It would seem the defense is prepared to prove its claim that there is a contradiction in this witness's testimony. Correct, Your Honor. I won't know until I try. The defense will now present evidence to the court. The evidence contradicting the assertion, that, my friend, would be the medical report. Take that! Because absolutely no way she could have hit you in the back of your head, given what we now know. Miss Al Dente, you previously testified that you were using that hat to cover the wound you received in the assault. It's normal for signorinas to cover up things they don't want others to see. That's not all. You also described the defendant as little, if you recall. That is to say, Miss Cantabella is, at the very least, shorter than you. I've grown tall and healthy thanks to the wonderful Mediterranean sunshine. Let me ask you then, how did a girl shorter than you, holding a heavy pipe backhanded, manage to land a blow to the back of your head? I'd say it's impossible.
I guess we're all idiots after all.
The fingerprints on the weapon show the defendant had held it backhanded. But even if she didn't, it is highly unlikely that she would have been able to hit Miss Al Dente's head like that. Oh, order! I will have order! What is it? What do you think we're getting at?
Objection! Even if it was highly unlikely, it cannot be proven that it was impossible.
Basic logic here, friend.
This Cannonball's fingerprints are found on the pipe, Your Honor. Nothing can change the fact that it was the defendant who held the weapon.
Holding it and swinging it are not the same thing. And I would reference Turnabout Goodbyes as the best example of that. Is that so? Does the defense have any comments? I can't deny that. It's clear that this fellow did hold that pipe.
She held it like this, right? Why would she do that? It'd be hard to hit anyone like this.
When she holds it like that, it looks as if... Yeah, thanks. Thanks for catching up, friends. She's trying to defend herself. We all figured that out a long time ago. Fingerprints on the weapon prove that it was used by the defendant.
Objection!
The defendant's fingerprints may be on the pipe, however. That doesn't prove she hit anyone with it.
Objection! Nonsense. What else would she pick up a steel pipe for?
As a defensive measure. Also, again, why does Maya have the steel pipe? Wait, where did we get the pipe from? Oh, I think I got a pretty good idea. Well then, the defense may elaborate on its idea. What I say next will turn this trial around. The defendant's fingerprints were left on the weapon when she tried to defend herself. Well, naturally. She held the pipe with both hands when she stopped it from coming down on her head. Stopped it?
With both hands? That's right, like this.
Please take another look at this photo. These are not the fingerprints of an assailant, but rather the fingerprints of a victim who was defending herself. Which brings us to the conclusion that Miss Cannabella didn't attack the witness. She was in fact a victim desperately trying to defend herself.
This cannot be.
And if Miss Cantabella was a victim, who was the real assailant? There's only one person who could have done it. The only other person at the crime scene was Olivia Al Dente. It was you, wasn't it? So, I've been told that there's a second pursuit theme. If there's another pursuit theme that's more epic than this one, I don't even know anymore. Order. If I cannot have order, the court will be adjourned.
You just don't quit, do you?
Is she gonna shot that? Whoa! Freaking very deft fish there. Freaking one jump ahead of the knife. Or the chopping blade.
A lousy lawyer like you should get to the job. How about I show you my knife up close? Have you lost your mind, Mr. Wright? The witness is the victim, not the assailant. There are no fingerprints other than the...
She's wearing gloves right now, you idiot! What are on her hands? Right now, look over there. 2 seconds, look at her hands. Look at the witness's outfit. Yeah, she's wearing gloves. Freaking... Wow, that was pathetic. Freaking flinch in pain. She's wearing gloves, that's why she left no fingerprints.
You prickly sea urchin. But you cannot be sure she was wearing the...
What? Okay, if she was wearing her hat that night, why would she take off her gloves? That would only further incriminate her.
Objection!
The witness has called this her work outfit, so she must have been wearing it when she was went to go check supplies. TV's lawyer, slippery as an eel. You're calling me slippery as an eel. It was me because I had gloves on, as if it was only me wearing gloves. She's the only one in the courtroom wearing gloves. There was that guy. Oh, you mean the guy that was... No, he wasn't wearing gloves. Because he's
too professional to wear gloves.
Yeah, well, guess what? That excuse doesn't work anymore because he wasn't wearing gloves either. Wow, who would have thought his lack of professionalism would actually help us win the case?
Oh, that's right. Gloves are part of the guard's uniform regulation. Yeah, but he's too cool for the regulations.
See, that guard Johnny was wearing him gloves that night. The words are hard. What do you say to that, Mr. Wright? Since you're claiming that the assailant is supposed to have gloves on, that would make the guard a suspect as well. No, it wouldn't. Could Johnny be the culprit? No, it's impossible. He's too cool for gloves. Johnny Smell's not the culprit.
Why not? Anyone with gloves could have done it. Didn't you just say that?
No, I didn't. It does seem possible that guard could have done. He was wearing gloves after all. No, and if you want proof of that, then we have the flashlight from earlier, which has his chocolate fingerprints on it. You do?
Fascinating. Let's see this proof if you really have it. Please enlighten us to why
Smiles, because his fingerprints are all over the goddamn flashlight.
Take that!
I missed this. I really missed the satisfaction in bringing down the culprits. Capcom, please, for the love of God, localize the great Ace Attorney games. Give us Ace Attorney 7, and maybe if you're feeling generous, port the sequel trilogy to the Switch as well. That'd be great too. Mr. Smiles, to put it nicely, what you may call a free spirit. Here's a PSA. Make 2021 the year of Ace Attorney. It's the 20-year anniversary. It would be the perfect opportunity to do everything I just said, and you'd make gajillions of dollars. Please do it. There is no guarantee you would follow the rules and wear his full uniform. And this evidence proves he did not wear gloves!
Wait, I don't throw that filthy torch at me.
Will someone please wipe the chocolate off this evidence? No, Your Honor. This chocolate is the evidence. What? Mr. Smiles was snacking on a chocolate bar during his patrol. That's why his flashlight is in this sorry state. And covered in his chocolatey fingerprints. Therefore, we know that he didn't wear gloves when patrolling the ship that night. Rule-breaking, chocolate-loving Johnny Smiles was not the culprit! What? That's oh, okay. Here we go. Pursuit again. Very elegant courtroom, by the way.
Your Honor, the defense is merely pointing out a possibility. To call the witness a criminal without actual evidence against her is preposterous.
Objection!
The prosecution's duty is to clear what doubts there may be regarding the defendant's guilt. And I have demonstrated that there is, at the very least, a possibility that the witness is not telling the truth.
Objection! At the very least, this fella Cannibal is not innocent. As corroborated by PC Badger, that toy that she attempted to steal.
What was that? Did Olivia just freeze for a second? Prosecutor Finch, explain to the court about this toy, this new piece of evidence.
This is the stuffed toy the defendant tried to steal that night.
One of its legs would appear to be missing, that poor thing.
This mishap befell PC Badger as the witness and defendant were fighting. The captain of the freighter reported the damage after the defendant's arrest. So this is the stuffed animal Olivia snatched from Espella. I see. The court would like to hear the witness' testimony regarding this evidence. Witness, your testimony.
Let's try to make this one less lie-filled than the last one, shall we?
Excuse me, witness, you have been asked to testify.
This fish is holding on for dear life. Or eel, or whatever it is. It is not dying today. It is holding on tight. Freaking yikers. I'm so very sorry. I got a little upset from all these accusations. These accurate accusations, but okay. I'm not used to this, to being called a liar.
Ah, yes, it's only natural. Don't worry about that. It's all that slimy attorney's fault.
Nothing I've said is wrong so far. Why do I feel like an eel on a chopping board? Well, I mean, probably because you keep dodging the attacks the prosecution is swinging down towards you. The witness will now testify. Tell us how you retrieved this toy from the defendant. Gladly. Oh, el nostro mare. I wonder what she's saying. I don't get it. Whatever she said, I'll make sure this is the last time she says it in court. Here we go. Witness testimony. About PC Badger. I wrestled this toy back from the thief and gave it to the police. Oh, well. We didn't even make it one sentence and you've already messed up tremendously. Why exactly, if you, okay. It's been like 3 seconds. Why is it that we have the torn tag if you took it back from, we shouldn't have this in our possession because Espella had the torn tag on her. You shouldn't, oh good god, we haven't even freaking made it a single second. Okay, so now we have to think of why, okay, so the only explanation here, I guess, would be that the toys, because there was a whole room. The room was filled with a bunch of Blue Badger, I call them Blue Badger again, a bunch of PC Badger toys, so it's possible, like, the only explanation here is that she just switched it out for one of the other ones, but then the new question that arises there is, okay, so why would she, because of the newspaper, right? Oh, we can't read the newspaper? Oh, okay, it says right here. The front page article is about jewel thieves in London. Alright, prediction. The Blue Badger has some kind of highly valuable jewel stuff inside of it, and so she had to switch, because the toys were all identical, she figured, oh, I'll just switch the toys around. No one will notice the difference. I'll keep the one with the jewels, and I'll give this one as evidence to the police. And that is probably going to be the final proof we need to corner you. I'm guessing. Okay. So pretty much nothing else you say matters, because we already found the contradiction. Because you're horrible at this. I get it, it's a tutorial case, but you're still horrible at this. I see, what a commendable attitude going to such lengths to protect the cargo. Yeah, that's what she was doing. I'm gonna be a security guard, but I'll do what it takes for the sake of our ship. It didn't do much good in the end. This PC Badger is way too damaged to be sold. These lovely little toys are made at a workshop in London. We transport them down the River Thames, just distributing them to children, as we go. Didn't she call them Bizarro toys earlier? Now suddenly they're cute. And what about fingerprints on this toy?
It is a soft toy after all, so no usable fingerprints were found.
Well, that is unfortunate. Regardless, the court accepts it into evidence. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Happily. Easiest cross-examination ever of all time. Alright. So, you claim that you wrestled the toy back from the thief and gave it to the police. Oh, really? Then why do we have this little tag right here?
Objection!
Miss Al Dente, I would like to confirm just one thing. The stuffed animal you submitted to the police, is it this one? Yeah, that's the one, no doubt about it. I'm sorry, but if that's the case, things simply don't add up.
What doesn't add up?
If it's about the leg, it's that girl's fault. It got ripped off because she wouldn't let it go. The problem is not something that's missing from this stuffed animal. On the contrary, it's something that shouldn't be there in the first place. Something that shouldn't be there. And that is, of course, this item. This is the final piece of evidence received from the guard, Mr. Smiles. When I seized the girl at the crime scene, she was clasping this in her hand. She didn't even seem to notice. And what would that be?
It would appear to be the PC Badger's tag, Your Honor.
Strange, isn't it? Something was definitely ripped off this plushie. But it wasn't its leg, it was the tag. You noticed it too, didn't you, Miss Al Dente? If this is the stuffed animal that Miss Cantabella was holding when you found her, then why is the tag still on it?
Yeah!
Order! Order! I will have order! What is the meaning of this?
Hey, you tasteless-looking prosecutor over there. Yes?
What's this about the tag? You didn't tell me anything about that.
If you'll please calm down.
It's no use blaming the prosecutor this time. You can do it every other time, but this time it's not his fault. He didn't even know this tag existed.
Objection! Witness, I ain't having for such evidence. If you had this in your possession, why didn't you hand it to the police?
Sorry, Mr. Prosecutor, I am an expert at what I do. And my expert advice to myself was that I better keep this as my secret weapon. So I waited for the right moment to single-handedly settle this trial. For better or for worse, this tag's existence has only recently come to light. Neither the prosecution nor you, Your Honor, knew about it before this trial. Well then why is there a tag on this toy? How come this toy has a tag? The answer is simple. There is a tag on the stuffed animal because the toy was swapped. There's only one possibility. Miss Al Dente, before handing the plushie into the police, you swapped it for another! Listen to yourself. Why would I even do something like that? Ridicolo. And that's right, the tag must be a fake. A fake? Why would you think that? That chocolate freak must be trying to frame me, that's what it is.
Objection!
Oh, really? You mean the guy? Okay. All you have to do to prove this is just check the tag. Just check the tag. And if Espel's fingerprints are still there, case closed. There's just no getting around it. All you have to do, just check that stupid little tag for Espel's fingerprints, and then the case is closed.
No, motive doesn't require much thinking to come up with one. He wanted attention.
That motive is irrelevant. We just check her fingerprints. That's all you need. Just check her fingerprints. Did Johnny produce? No. It's an interesting theory, but it's impossible. I'll dash you like an onion. Anyway, was Mr. Smiles lying? It's an easy way to find out. What?
How do you plan to check it?
By checking the fingerprints, of course.
Fingerprints,
According to Mr. Smiles' testimony, when he seized Miss Cantabella, she was holding the tag in her hand. Therefore, her fingerprint should still be on that tag! Bailiff, have the evidence investigated immediately. That was awesome, Nick! We've almost got her now! Mr. Flint, I have a question for you.
What is it?
When you searched the crime scene, did you find a toy without a tag? Well, Mr. Finch, did you?
Considering the circumstances, it did not seem necessary to investigate quite so thoroughly. But at the very least, I can tell you that all the toys in the crate had tags on.
Excuse me, Your Honor? What is it, Mr. Wright? It appears no such animal was found without a tag. Which means that it may still be hidden at the crime scene. Your Honor, the defense requests that the ship be searched thoroughly this time. Send a forensics team there immediately. You're requesting another search?
Objection! What? Surely you can't be serious. Whether the toy was swapped or not, it doesn't matter in the least. They are all the same. Any of them will do just fine.
And therein lies the problem. If they're all the same, then why would she switch them around? Oh, I know. Because she's probably the jewel thief. All these plushies are the same. There's no need to swap one for another. And yet... why is the witness getting so worked up about it?
That's just...
I had a feeling that there was something odd about this case. A stolen stuffed animal and an assault connected to it. There had to be more to it. There had to be another crime under the surface.
Nick!
This is it. What should I do? Request a search. Your Honor, the defense insists on a search. Should a plushie without a tag be found on that ship? Then there's a strong possibility that this case will be resolved.
Objection!
The prosecution.
I believe we've hit a tipping point, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, what? Wait, when did the big fish get here? What?
No, you can't search.
Wait, when did the big fish get here? What, witness? Miss Al Dente, why did you swallow the stuffed animal? And why are you so afraid of having the ship searched? PC Badger holds all the answers. I say, Mr. Wright, could it be that you already know the reason behind the swamp? Of course, I don't have any definitive proof, but when it comes to pointing out a possibility, I might have something. Very well, let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence? Yes, we do, and it's called this newspaper right here.
Take that!
There's a certain article in this newspaper. Elusive jewel thieves at large in London, Scotland Yard on a red alert. Oh, that robbery. I've heard about it, of course. A group of thieves robbed a jewelry shop and made away with about 50 pieces of jewelry. Many extremely valuable stones were stolen as well. Scotland Yard's under great pressure to find them.
Our packet is sent out from London are being scrutinized by the police. And what does this have to do with our case? Nothing!
Use your head, Flinch. I beg to differ. The jewel thief took place in London. Or, sorry, the jewel theft took place in London. And that's where our freighter picked up its cargo.
London? It can't be. Witness?
That night, you discovered the defendant in the cargo hold. She was holding one of the plushies. You knew you had to get it back. You had to get it back at all costs, but why go so far for a mere plushie? I love this build-up right here. There was only one possible reason. You couldn't afford to have the police discover what was inside of it! Oh, Jesus Christ! She's gonna get dunked on by your dinner. The fish revolted against you. Yikes, the other one was, the small eel thing was just trying to survive. This one, this fish went on the attack. Jeez. We received a report from those investigating the crime scene. This toy was hidden between a storage unit and a pipe. The toy has been cut open and the contents examined. And this was found inside. A pink diamond worth approximately 100,000 euro.
We have also received a report from the crime lab. The defendant's fingerprints have been found on the tag.
Do you have anything to say, Miss Al Dente? Fish mark. I lost, didn't I? So you are a... Yeah, I'm one of them. I'm one of the jewel thieves. My role was to get the loot out of London. The police never checked the regular shipments from that workshop. We decided to take advantage of that blind spot.
Indeed, the regular direct delivery service had been overlooked by the police.
Possibly because that workshop produces the very mascots representing the police.
The other crew had nothing to do with it. I used their ship, that's all.
It was you who hid the jewels inside the plushies. There was one jewel in each toy. I was carrying them away one by one. The defendant happened to pick up one of those toys. I had my art stand still when I saw that girl in the cargo hold. Whenever I was free, I stood guard in front of that room, and yet she got in somehow. So there she was in the room with the hidden loot, one of the doors in her hand. So how did Spella get in there? That's another story. I don't know if she was trying to steal the toy or what, but I just added to get it back from her, no matter the cost. Then I handed in a different toy. I made it look like it was ripped in the fight. It would have been over for me if the police had found any of the jewels. And I believe, my good friends, that is case closed.
But wait, who was it in the end? Who hit Olivia?
Oh, I almost forgot about that.
At first, I thought it must have been that little girl that hit me. But now I don't know.
You don't know?
No one else was supposed to be in that room. But what if there was someone in the shadows?
Perhaps someone whose name is Miss Darklaw?
Some mischievous person hidden in the darkness.
This was the most unusual case. Oh, this was unusual. Yikes. You ain't seen nothing yet, pal. At least per the rules of Ace Attorney. It cannot be said that all mysteries have been resolved. but it has become clear that Miss Cantabello is innocent. Ah. Well then, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? It would seem that I owe you thanks for helping us see the truth. No need to thank me, Your Honor. I was just doing my job like I always do. Is that really the smartest thing you come up with? And Mr. Finch?
Yes, Your Honor.
You've been fired. This trial was part of the Legal League of Attorneys Exchange program, wasn't it? May this trial serve as a lesson for you too, is that understood?
Ooh. It is as you say, Your Honor. Don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look! Without my glasses, I can't see, and I don't want to be seen. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?
What just happened? Did he just... Okay, I guess he went insane for no reason. Alright, cool. Great. Love to see it. This court has reached its verdict. I pronounce the defendant to Spella Cantabella not guilty. There we go. Yeah, first not guilty verdict of the game. How many more are waiting for us? That's my question. Is it gonna... Are we gonna do a Halo 5 and only play as Phoenix for like 3 out of the game's 15 chapters? Don't get me started. Congratulations, you did it, Nick! Yeah, thanks. I guess I should be happy. You, on the other hand... But Dark Law's cold gaze is staring daggers through me. Thank you, Mr. Wright. You are better than I thought. Had I known earlier, I would have asked you to prove Spella innocent from the very start. I'm glad you're happy about the verdict. Spella, come and thank Mr. Wright. Is she out of the trance yet? No, she is not. Wait. When'd you get the book? Wait, hold on. When did she go back to pick up the book from when Layton dropped it? Huh? Hey, Spella! Oh, I just got a comment asking about the upload schedule for this game. Okay. What's the big book you got in there? Oh, please forgive her. She's a bit shy, you see. She's very fond of books. At any rate, now Spella can return to her peaceful life at our boarding school. It's all thanks to your hard work, Mr. Wright. Is no one gonna say anything about the fact that she's in a trance? Now, please excuse us. We have some formalities to attend to. Oh, yes, of course. Mr. Wright, you were truly outstanding in that courtroom today. Farewell. Okay, bye. Wait, how did you get the book back from when Layton and Luke dropped it? Phew, it's finally over. You know, something's still bothering me about this case. The person who hit Olivia, where'd they go? That's true. We don't know who actually assaulted Olivia. If it wasn't a Spella, it must have been another person at the crime scene. But neither Olivia nor Johnny saw anyone else. The room was dark, save for the emergency light. I'm sure someone hid in the shadows. And Johnny was wearing sunglasses, and Macy saw anything at all. He missed all those clues, so it's not much of a stretch to imagine he missed the perpetrator, too. How about we head back now? Okay, let's go check out Tower Bridge while we still have some daylight left.
Oh. There, on the couch. Isn't that Espella's book? It is the book she was holding. We should return it to her.
She's indoctrinating people into the cult of Labyrinthia by dropping the book everywhere she goes. She just has like
Hey,
1,000
Nick,
books at home.
Let's see what kind of stuff Espella likes to read.
Just quit it, Maya.
Labyrinthia, huh?
Huh? Maya, look!
Huh? Hey, Nick, look, that's us, isn't it?
Is it going to be continued to me right there? Of course it is. Alright, looks like we're still not going to be able to find out exactly what's going on with the book and Espella quite yet. But, you know what? So far... Oh, we earned... Oh. That's a lot of Pickerots. Wow, so for every mistake we don't make, Wow, okay. I will not be turning down that very, very nice benefit. Okay. So far, having gotten a taste of both styles of gameplay, actually, surprisingly, very, very good. The Professor Layton sections, they seem like appropriate early game puzzles. They don't seem like they were unnecessarily dumbed down. Same thing here. For a tutorial case, I mean, it wasn't like Turnabout Memories or freaking Turnabout Target in terms of difficulty. But it was certainly, you know, your average Ace Attorney experience. I would say that both the Professor Layton sections and Ace Attorney sections so far have done a good job of staying true to their respective franchises. Now is when we see what happens when we blend them together. I'm still thinking what's going to happen is Professor Layton's going to handle all the investigation sections, and then Professor Layton, I just said it twice, and then Phoenix Wright and Maya will handle all of the courtroom section. I don't know what they're going to do with, like, are they just going to be in the, that's one worry I have, is that Professor Layton's going to do all of the exciting adventure stuff, and then Phoenix and Maya are going to be like, oh, they're just solving crimes around town, they're here too, I guess. I hope that's not what this becomes, but nonetheless, I'm excited. That'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned next time to catch you all tomorrow for some more Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Goodbye!